Hey guys, JD here with the Kawasaki Ultra 310, and today I've got an awesome product from Kawi Performance that I want to share with you guys. Okay, so here is our stock factory fuel fitting, and then here is our brand new 316 stainless made in USA Kawi Performance fuel rail fitting. And then we've got these special 8mm bolts, 316 stainless steel, designed to replace these really annoying Phillips head stock ones. So let's take a look at our stock fuel rail here. Now, as you guys can see, the stock fuel rail is made out of plastic, which is not necessarily a bad thing because it's not subject to corrosion or rust. However, let's take a look a little closer at this stock fuel rail hardware. Now you can see these Phillips screws are rusted because they're from the factory and they are not stainless steel. There are just 4 of them. These holes are intentionally left open. All right, so what's our solution to this? Well, you guys have seen my head bolts and my exhaust bolts from Kawi Performance, 316 stainless steel, the highest quality you can get, American sourced steel. And these have held up great so far since I installed them. So we have this right here. This is our fuel T fitting. This goes right here in the rail. You can see the stock one is plastic. Actually, no tools are needed to install that. We're just going to pull these 2 pieces of the rail apart. So this piece right here is 316 stainless, made in the USA with locally sourced steel at Kawi Performance's shop in Long Island, New York. And then we've got these special 8mm bolts, 316 stainless steel, designed to replace these really annoying Phillips head stock ones. So getting the stock fuel rail off here is really easy. I do have a little trick for you though. So you always want to make sure you relieve the fuel pressure on your ski before removing this fitting. So we're going to go ahead and pop the cap off of the fuel tank just to let any vapors breathe out. There you go, and we're just going to set the cap right there. All right, so next I recommend you get a pair of gloves on just so you don't get soaked with gasoline. Get a paper towel ready, and we're just going to put that paper towel underneath this fitting right here. Make sure you have all your wires out of the way. I can't remember, but I think when this is stock, this wire harness is zip tied to the fuel rail. I kind of moved those zip ties, and then of course I've got my plug wires moved out of the way. So with this, it's really easy once you've done it a few times, but if you've never done it, you're really going to want 2 hands. And what you're going to want to do is put 1 finger under each edge of the flange here. You can see how I'm popping it up a little bit. So you actually want to use 2 hands. I'm going to attempt to do it with 1 just to show you. But what you want to do is put 1 finger under each side and then pull this up. So I'm doing it with 1 hand just to demonstrate to you here. Just like that. It's really easier. It's easier if you use 1 finger from each hand. Of course, I'm holding the camera, so I can't do that. Make sure your paper towel is in place because fuel will run out. Then you're going to push. Do not push on this or else you'll make it pop off and go into the depths of your ski. But you want to push against this flat flange right here like this. There we go. So that's popped off and your fuel will run out. You can see that fuel line there is full, and then this piece here, this is what we're going to replace with this really nice heavy duty 316 stainless fuel fitting. This thing is just beautiful. All right, so next you got to get these Phillips screws out. Now, as you can see, a full-size Phillips screwdriver is not going to fit in there. So you have 2 options. You could use a stubby handled screwdriver, or what I like to do is just take a small 1/4-inch socket like this and throw in a Phillips bit. This will be the last time. And these are pretty easy to remove. I'm just taking this out so I can show you. Look at all that rust. And you can see that these new ones, these 316 stainless ones, have been machined by Kawi Performance to match the exact profile of the stock ones, but with an 8mm hex head and not that really crappy Phillips one that tends to rust. And this one here in the front is actually the most challenging because you've got the hull right there. So Uh-oh. Well, there goes my Phillips bit. And here's the final one removed. I didn't need that Phillips bit anyway. I'll never find it. It's gone forever. Oh well. All right, so this is what these look like. Look at that corrosion. Those heads are all corroded. Every single one of them. So we are going to retain these little rubber O-rings. We're going to reuse those on the new Kawi Performance hardware, but we're going to chuck these bolts in the trash. So remove each of those O-rings. We're going to clean them. I'm going to clean them up a little bit. Okay, so we've got our fuel fitting just out of the way. This here. So now each of those injectors, you can see that they're just pushed into the plastic intake manifold with an O-ring, right? So very lightly, you're going to pull up just like that. You see? They pop right out. All right, then the next thing you're going to do is pull this rail apart. Put one hand here, and pull it apart. I'm going to have to do it off camera and then show you. Okay, so here is our stock factory fuel fitting. You know, it's just plastic, nothing special. These can break. And you can see that we've got both halves of the rail just pulled apart there. So this is the old part we're going to get rid of. And then here is our brand new 316 stainless made in USA Kawi Performance fuel rail fitting. Really a high quality part. It's going to look really nice on the ski. So now to install this is very easy. There's no gaskets or O-rings. This just pushes in to, you're going to push this into one side of the rail like that, and then you're going to push the two pieces together. It's really easy. There's no special trick to it. You can see I've got that pushed in like that, and then we're just going to hold this piece with one hand and push the other half in as well. And there you go. There is our rail fully assembled. So now we're going to put it back in place. So literally you're going to make sure that you have your injectors lined up to each of those little rubber holes. Push them in just like that. Boom, done. Really easy. And then this fitting here, you just want to make sure that it's lined up in such a way that you could get this back on. But before we get that back on, we're going to go ahead and install our brand new stainless steel mounting hardware. So here's a look at this beautiful 316 stainless made in USA hardware from Kawi Performance. You can see that I've reused those rubber gaskets from the stock hardware. And now we're just going to go ahead and put these in place, tighten those up with an 8mm socket. Tighten like this one here. And then our final step, so you can see those are all in place. Those look really nice. And then our final step is to reconnect our quick release fuel fitting. So our paper towel is still in place. This piece here you can actually pivot as you need, so you want to get the right angle on that. And then this here, you're going to go ahead and pull on just like that. If it doesn't really want to slide on, you could put a little dab of motor oil on there. But I've found that when you just remove it like this and it's still wet from the fuel, snap that in place, then give it a good test. It's good. We're going to remove our paper towels and make sure to wipe up any fuel that may have spilled. And then of course we want this, you could just position this so that you have no kinks in your fuel hose. And there we go. Really fast and easy hardware upgrade for your Kawasaki Ultra 310, Ultra 300, Ultra 260, Ultra LX, STX 160. This fuel rail and hardware will fit on pretty much any modern 4-stroke Kawasaki. And then, you know, you just want to make sure that each of those are tight. This is plastic, so you don't want to over torque that, but you do want to make sure that your injectors, everything is seated properly. So there you go. Now some of you guys might look at these components on their website and you might say, wow, that's expensive for a piece like that. Well, let me tell you this. You can't have a quality stainless steel made in USA set of hardware like this and it be cheap. If you're finding hardware like this and it's cheap, it's because it's made in China. It's not the same quality. It's really hard to find stuff like this. And trust me, Kawi Performance, he's not getting rich off of this. This is just, you know, he stands behind his products, and I'm happy to feature the products on my channel. I run them on my ski. I've been so impressed with the quality of all this stainless hardware. If your bolts are looking rusty, rather than waste the money to replace the OEM ones, I highly recommend that you put those OEM ones to rest once and for all and get yourself a set of these lifetime Kawi Performance stainless bolts. Well, I hope this was helpful. I hope you'd enjoyed it. I highly recommend these Kawi Performance products. Pick yourself up a set of these today from kawiperformance.com. So what do you do with your old hardware? Toss it in the trash. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more exclusive jet ski content only on JD's Water World.